Hi everybody. Today I think we should talk about improper urination with cats, which is a big problem with our house cats and one of the leading reasons for abandonment and sending them to Humane Society, throwing them outside, those sorts of things. For starters, if your cat has used the litter box, has always used the litter box, and never had an issue, and all of a sudden does, and is peeing on things like soft surfaces, the best thing you can do for your cat is to book them a vet appointment. Improper urination is one of the number one symptoms of a UTI, urinary tract infection. And when cats have UTIs, they tend to seek out softer areas to go to the bathroom because they believe it'll hurt less. They think that. And that's pretty much the main symptom that you're going to see for if your cat has a UTI. If you pay attention to them when they're going to the bathroom, maybe you'll notice that they don't pee as much as they should, or they're frequently going to the bathroom. Those are some other symptoms. So if your cat has always used the litter box and suddenly stops, it is best to rule out any sort of underlying medical issues for starters. So why do our cats pee outside of the litter box? And the main reason is all behavioral. Cats are very territorial animals, and when you force them to live inside, then some of those behaviors rear their heads from occasion. And one of the number one reasons that I personally see cats urinating outside of the box, or cats who start to spray, is another cat that you don't know about, or a number of cats that you don't know about outside of your window. And that could be only at night, that could be only at certain times, but usually one of the common reasons is that there is a cat outside of your window, getting in your windows, pissing your cat off, and then your cat starts to urinate outside of the box. So when I have had issues like that, I have put small deterrents outside of my windows, and it has pretty much eliminated the problem. Like, I remember back before Bean got fixed, she is so fat, it was difficult to get her fixed. Like, she had to lose weight before the surgery. Yeah. So in that time before while she was losing weight for this surgery, she had started spraying, and it was so bad that she would walk up to me and spray my legs and then run away really fast. Well, try to run away really fast. She's not a very fast cat, as you can imagine. And her number one issue was that there were boys outside, and she was an unfixed female. So I would come home, and there would be several men, grown cat men, sitting on my stairs, and they would scatter right when they would see me come up. So I put a deterrent out on my stairs, and the deterrents, there are a couple of different kinds. There are some that spray water. They're mostly all motion activated. There's some that spray water. I don't really like those because usually where the cats are, you're going to be, and you risk getting yourself sprayed by water. The ones that I have used are all sound related, where the cat will walk past it and it makes this really annoying. You're not supposed to be able to hear it. You can hear it though. Really annoying, high-pitched noise, and then the cat leaves. In my experience, I have only had to have them out for a couple of months, and when, like, they're solar powered, the ones that I got, and they were kind of cheap, and eventually the solar powered thing didn't work anymore. But after they had stopped working, the cats still didn't come back because they still associated my place with this sound that they didn't like. And in the time before Bean could have her surgery, she did eventually end up stopping her spraying because there were no boys outside. So you could have a situation like that where there is a cat outside, and usually in those situations your cat will be peeing in front of the windows, in front of your front door, places like that where the other cats would come up to your house. So that is also, when you want to figure out a behavioral problem with a cat, it's very important to look at all the steps that your cat is going through and their routine for this behavior that you don't like. So let's say that your cat is peeing in front of the windows. Write that down. Peed in front of those windows at this time, this day, whatever, whenever you notice it. You keep having this repeating pattern of your cat peeing in front of the windows, and eventually you're going to get, maybe something's going on outside that window that they don't like. So I always find that it's important to document any behaviors that you don't like and sort of understand your cat's routine, because cats are very routine oriented, which leads us into another one. Cats can spray and improperly urinate because of stress. And one of the main stressors for cats is my routine has changed. And your routine changing could be as simple as you don't feed them at the same time, or you are working a different shift at work and you are no longer home. That can start a cat on spraying and urinating outside the box. The thing with those behaviors is they're kind of hard to get around, because obviously if you're stuck on that shift at work, it's more or less getting your cat more used to you not being home at that time anymore. So just change. If you have to change your schedule like that, make sure you try to complement the schedule that you had before. So let's say you were working first shift, you'd feed your cat before you went to work. Now you're working second shift. Still try to feed your cat before you go to work. So that way your cat correlates you going to work with them eating. That way it's still kind of a similar schedule to set different times, and they're more likely to get used to it. Other reasons that cats can be going outside of the box. A new addition to the family is another one, because again, cats are very big on stressful situations, and something like having a baby can cause them to go to the bathroom outside of the litter box. Something like getting a puppy can do that. Those situations, again, are more or less getting your cat used to the new baby, getting your cat used to the new puppy, and kind of waiting them out. They aren't always going to go smoothly, but normally with a mentally healthy cat and physically healthy cat, you should be able to work over those situations. Other things can be, one that isn't talked about but is very common, is long-haired cats don't want to use the litter box because they don't want to get litter on the tufts of their feet in between their paws. So while owners think it's cute that they have a lot of fur in between their paws, it's very bothersome for cats. They don't want to get pee and feces on that fur in between their pads, so they just avoid the litter box. That's a very simple fix: trim the hair between their paws. Another reason could be that some cats are super finicky and they can have the same thing for years and years and then just decide they don't want it anymore. Like I remember when I first got Alaska and Hurley, I had a covered litter box. They had it for months, whatever, and then all of a sudden Alaska stopped going to the bathroom inside the litter box. And so my first thought was just take the damn lid off the litter box, and I did, and she started using it again. So I'm not really a fan of covered litter boxes for that point either, because cats, along with being predators, are also prey animals. They do want to have a security while going to the bathroom, and that security is not found in shoving a litter box in a corner or putting a lid on it. That is not secure for them. All that's doing is creating an area that they can't easily leave. If you can't easily leave that area, it's not secure. So while as a human we see privacy in that, cats do not. They see a small enclosed area that if they go in this way, they can't leave this way or this way or this way if something scares them. They can only go out the front. And if something blocks that front, they can't have anywhere to go. And if that keeps happening, then they aren't going to want to use a litter box anymore. And that's a common one with people who have bully cats or dogs. The dogs don't necessarily bully them. Your dog just might want the tasty treats inside of the litter box, so he follows the cat, and the cat gets scared because the dog is following them to the litter box where they feel vulnerable, and they feel like they can't leave the litter box safely, they can't be in it safely, so they stop using it. So litter box placement is also incredibly important for when you have cats. You want to make sure that you at least have 3 sides open for the litter box. So you can back it up against a wall, but just make sure that there's nothing on this side, or the front. So that way, if something were to scare the cat coming from this way, they can easily leave and go around, Because a lot of people tend to shove their litter boxes in their little bathrooms or things like that. And then you have a bullying situation where your aggressor knows that the cat is going to the bathroom, knows to follow them, and knows to attack them while they're in the bathroom. So your cat then associates the litter box with, I'm going to get attacked, I'm going to find somewhere that I think is safe, and I'm going to go to the bathroom there, which could be under your bed, could be in a closet, anything like that. The bullying is also a big reason why a cat will avoid using a litter box, because they get scared and they don't want to be chased. Another big one is cats who are declawed. Obviously, if you get your cat declawed, I feel, because it is an elective surgery, that you should go through and research it beforehand, but many people don't. The declawing of a cat is the amputation of the first joint in every finger. So you essentially cut all of these off. The problem with that, well, besides the fact that it's fucking inhumane, is that cats walk upright on their toes. They do not walk flat-footed like dogs or humans or a lot of other animals. So when you take that first joint that they walk on and cut it off, your cat then, after the surgery, has to decide, do I want to relearn how to walk altogether flat-footed, or do I want to walk permanently on these amputation spots? Most cats will walk on those amputation spots, and of course that leads to a lot of pain, a lot of arthritis, and a lot of bone spurs. Walking after declawing is incredibly painful for cats. And a lot of people will say, well, my cat's never had an issue. And it's crazy to me because my cats personally don't speak English, so I have no idea if they're in pain unless they physically display it. And being prey animals along with predators, they're incredibly good at hiding their pain, especially if it's a pain in just joints where they can still walk around and still fend for themselves. So it is insane to me that these cats are getting up in their owner's ears and whispering in their ears that it's perfectly okay that they were declawed. Your cat is good at hiding pain. That's the whole thing of being a predator. Predators do not show pain to anyone because then they could potentially be killed and eaten. So while you think your cat is okay, they probably aren't. 80% of all declawed cats have some sort of pain in their joints. They will pretty much all develop arthritis at an old age. We have cats here that are only a couple years old that already display aggression issues with their paws and just in general. If you're Spicy is mean like that because she's declawed. She's not just a dick. She's in pain all the time. Titus, his aggression issues could have also been led into, his were more sequestered into one specific incident, but those things can still kind of correlate together. We don't really know what's going on with Titus at the time. Anyway, Blue also had some aggression issues when I first adopted him, which was before the rescue. I remember one instance he was actually sitting on my chest and I had shifted, and when I shifted I had moved his paws a little bit, like they just shifted with my body, and that had hurt him enough that he actually reached forward and bit my face several times before I could push him off, because his toes were so tender in those areas where he was declawed that when I shifted, it hurt him enough that he wanted to bite me over it. And so when you have a declawed cat that is always in pain from walking and expect them to walk on a hard rocky surface like litter, sometimes they just decide they aren't going to do that anymore. It's as simple as that. And you can fix these issues, deal with them, by retraining your cat to go to the litter box on a different substance that isn't litter. I've had success with both topsoil and sand because they're softer. Some companies make litter that they claim is better for declawed cats, but I've never seen anything that, like, I've seen them, they don't feel any different to me. Never used them because they just don't seem worth the money to me. Because a bag of topsoil you can get super cheap, a bag of sand you can get super cheap. So after you mutilate your cat and they're displaying the symptoms and issues that are commonly associated with their mutilation, then you do have to, in fact, work around that. And so you can do things like change out their litter for sand or dirt, puppy pads, things like that, or you could just deal with it because you did that to your cat, so that's on you. I think those are my top reasons why cats don't use the litter box. There's one last reason that I have found, and it's just that some cats really like to pee on certain surfaces. A big one is little rugs, like doormats and shit like that with the rubber backing. Cats love to pee on those. I don't know why. And if that happens and it's a reoccurring issue, just throw it away. Just throw the rug away. Get a rug that doesn't have that backing. Don't have a rug at all. It's just easier than dealing with it. We've had that issue, and after they pee on it like 3 times, I'm like, fuck this thing, you know? And another one is plastic bags. I think it's Helen. I think Helen really likes to pee on plastic bags. Her mom also used to pee on plastic bags, like grocery bags from Walmart. If I leave it, like seriously, I can leave them out for like 30 seconds and someone will pee on them. Don't know what it is, the smell, the texture, don't know. So sometimes there are just things that cats like to pee in. Sometimes laundry baskets too, because I think they mean well with that. I think it's like a laundry basket is shaped kind of like a litter box sort of deal. They're like, meh, good enough. I'm gonna pee in this. So if you have a cat that is specifically peeing on one thing, and mattress pads, sometimes people will get those mattress covers you get for like kids that are the waterproof ones. I think those are along the same lines as the rubber backing for the rugs, which is, it sucks because it's like you don't want to take it off and then risk the cat peeing on the mattress, but they love to pee on those. I think it's like a plastic sort of thing. They love the smell of plastic. They love the feel of it on their paws. I don't know, but I've heard that, the rugs, and plastic bags are like the top 3. So if you have those issues, just get rid of the item. Just close the door. Don't let the cat in your kid's room. Things like that. Because if they have an option that they like better than their litter box, they probably aren't going to use their litter box. They're probably just going to continue going on that as opposed to the litter box. So I think those are my top issues with litter boxes. If you have an issue, comment it below and I will see if I can address that. Maybe in another video, maybe I'll just comment back. I'm not sure. Depends on what your situation is. Sometimes people will ask me questions and it is very hard for me to reply back because some platforms only have a specific amount of characters. Sometimes I just don't want to type that much. Or I can't articulate it enough in words via typing as opposed to talking out loud. In some situations also, I kind of do need to see. Like, you might think something's happening this way, but when a trained behavioralist goes in, they see the situation and they're like, it's actually this. Like, you didn't notice this, but your cat actually follows your other cat to the litter box and then stalks him the whole time. It scares the shit out of him and he doesn't want to use a litter box. There's some things that people don't notice just because they're so used to their own cat's routine. So if you have access to a behavioralist and they're a good one, I really suggest using them. So that's all I got for you guys for now. Thank you for watching.